see you shiver with anticipation.
But it's not my place to judge why people like a weird thing. I never do that.
Then what are you for?
Treachery to intellectual integrity.
Drooling, blithering idiots.
Absolute moral chaos.
What the is wrong with you? What the
What I'm saying is the planet's on fucking fire.
Patient.
Life is chaos. Nothing. Life is sacred.
Welcome, everybody. Look at that green screen
wow,
effect.
Look at this. Green screen? What are you talking about?
I mean, look at that poster of
Look
us
at that poster. Look at this poster of us that's behind us that is clearly not just...
with our schedule floating in the middle.
I know.
Yeah,
A little
you
weird.
can totally see how bad the chroma key is, but
Yeah, that's okay.
I thought it was
This
a
is
good
fun.
gimmick for today.
It was an interesting gimmick for today. It's...
Welcome, everybody. My name is Spider,
And I'm Alexander.
and this is the freaking Deviant podcast episode negative 27. This is the
27.
podcast about the
27. I'm excited.
Yeah, this is a podcast about deviant behavior, anything and everything that make you that labels you a freak or a deviant by regular society. That is exactly what's welcome in this home. So thank you for joining us. Thank you for watching and listening. Let's get to it. What do we got in mind today?
Well, we were about to start a conversation with
Yeah.
outside the podcast.
Yeah, because when we're listening
yeah.
to the waiting music, for those of you who are just listening to the audio, they don't listen to the...
They're not, yeah.
But for the video, for the live stream, there's actually a 15-minute clip, and it's exactly what is the Moonlight Sonata?
Yeah, it's Beethoven's Moonlight Sonata,
which is one of
all
my favorite.
three movements.
Yeah, all three movements. I fucking love the chaotic of, like, it starts very slow and then it gets a little better, and then that last thing, it just fucking becomes chaos.
Yeah, it's just
very
completely
interesting.
chaotic.
And I just learned today, just randomly, I learned that there's a song, it's not a song, what do you call it? Beethoven's
A sonata or...
well, it's called the Turkish March.
Yeah, it's a... is it March or Waltz? Is it March?
March.
I think it's March.
No,
yeah.
I this I know for sure because I've been looking it up all day, because there's many versions of it.
I think Turkish Waltz is...
Beethoven Turkish March.
Yeah, it's right there. Yeah.
Now, what's interesting about this is a couple versions, but I think the one I liked was this one.
I like how it's, we talk about Beethoven, there's pictures of Mozart.
Yeah. That's not Beethoven, is it?
That is Beethoven,
Okay.
yeah. I was
So-
just mentioning, yeah. So
this
this one.
is a Turkish march. Now, for those of you, if I have any Mexican listeners here, that song is very recognizable by Latin culture for something completely unrelated to Beethoven.
Really? Yeah, you can turn it down.
So, yeah, no, I was just gonna pause it. But so that song, like I just kind of basically I went and took a nap and I left my phone playing. I just put Beethoven and
Yeah.
playlist by itself, right? And I woke up to that song and I'm like, what the fuck? And I looked down and it was like, Turkish March. What is this shit? Went and looked it up and like, I'll be damned. I thought it was a cover of some random thing it was a cover of something else. I don't know. But that's the original song. It's called
Yeah.
the Turkish March. Now, there is around the 60s, 70s, there was a French band. I forgot the name. I think it's like Jerry and Perry or some weird name. And they came up with a song called Elephant... No. Yeah, Elephant Never Forgets. And it's an electronic version of that song. Now...
Jean-Jacques Perry.
Oh, you know how to pronounce it. Do you know who that is?
No.
Okay. So I'm going to play this song. And again, this is just a little like soundbite that anyone who grew up in Latin America watching Latin American television knows this song by heart, because this is a very famous TV show in Mexico that started with that.
This is...
Now, that is actually the Turkish March.
Yeah. Wow.
And that's what I remember listening to. And it just brought memories like right away. Like, I know those notes. Now,
that is a really interesting addition.
It's so weird.
It's weird.
This is very old, and this is
really
called
weird.
electronic music, which I'm assuming at the time was fucking heresy. Like,
Yeah.
this is wrong. How dare you take Beethoven and turn it into that
I mean, I
goofy
guess.
sounding shit? It sounds like Disney music.
I mean, to
It
be
sounds
fair...
weird. So
Yeah, it sounds weird.
It blew me away to learn the history of this song, and And then I did some research, and the guy who produced that particular TV show, who's considered a genius and a Mexican legend, he's actually known as Chespirito, which is a funny way of saying Shakespeare.
Okay.
That's because they considered him the Shakespeare of comedy.
Have you seen much Shakespeare?
I have not.
Oh, that's something we'll
I
have
mean,
to do
I
together.
watched the remake of Romeo and Juliet.
we'd have
and I've
to-
seen The Taming of the Shrew in an actual theater.
Taming of the Shrew is one of my favorites. I loved
Yeah.
it. I thought it was
I heard that
hilarious.
the movie, the Heath Ledger movie, was actually supposed to be a version of that, a modern version. 10 Things I Hate About You, I think it's called.
I have no idea. I've never seen it.
It's a modern movie with Heath Ledger that is supposed to be a remake, a modernization of Taming of the Shrew. Yes. Just like there's a Leonardo DiCaprio movie with Romeo and Juliet, where I think they took the texts,
They took
verbatim,
the actual
but the
text.
scenes were definitely modern.
Yeah,
I think they used guns and they kept saying swords.
yeah, it's a little. I saw that one, and not gonna lie, it's a little weird.
It's very strange. I mean, for one, I don't do the Shakespeare language thing. I didn't really get it.
The Shakespeare, like, you can, like, understand it, but there's clearly, like, every time you listen to Shakespeare, unless you've really, like, studied Shakespeare, you can listen to it and understand it, but it's almost like another language that you can barely speak. Like, you're like, I understand some of these words.
It's like talking to people from Louisiana.
Yeah.
They have this
very
weird
much.
way of speaking. Like, what the fuck?
Or, like, ooh, have you seen, like, really deep Irish or really deep Scottish accents?
Yeah, a couple of wrestlers have them.
Yeah, and it's just really, really hard to understand. Like, you get every other word, basically, and you're like, I can sort of understand this.
Yeah, Finn Balor actually. Well, and then the champion Becky Lynch is Irish also. Mm-hmm. And then there's the
And
Scottish
that goes
guy.
for all sorts of accents. You know, if you listen to a really thick Australian accent and a really thick, even English accent, where you get, like, straight up Cockney, it can be a little hard to understand. Granted, the same goes for, you know, deep Southern, too.
Oh yeah, and so I learned English in Texas. Do I sound like a Texan? Do I have that accent by accident?
Probably, yeah.
Accent by
You have
accident.
a little bit of stuff. Like, a lot of people in Texas use y'all just everywhere, and
I don't use that.
and that's just like everywhere.
But I know that some people do say that like there's still a little bit of a Spanish accent.
Yeah, you
That
still have a
it's
little
not
bit
gone.
you still do have a little bit of a Spanish
I
accent.
worked really hard to get rid of it, and I think it's just not possible after a certain age. And I learned I started learning English at the age of 14. So I think that was like kind of the threshold, according to some of the experts on that. Like after a certain age, there's just no way to learn a language without an accent. Mm-hmm. You have to be pretty young. But yeah, so that's just an interesting cultural thing that I just learned. And the other thing I learned is that particular guy that did this TV show, he did a bunch of different TV shows that were beautiful, like great comedy for the time, and he stole that song.
They just straight up took it.
Yeah, it took to like 2009. The dude was already almost dying
Oh man!
by the time that particular band found out that Latin America knows this song. Like it's in the culture, and they had no fucking idea that it had been used for a TV show for years.
That's interesting.
Yeah, like, it's so serious. Like there's like 3 generations of Hispanics, and I'm not talking just Mexico. We're talking all kind of Latin American countries that the show ran through. There's about 3 generations of people, which is me, my mom, and my grandma, all that grew up watching that. That's how long that show went.
That's interesting.
The main dude played an 8-year-old, and by the time he stopped playing that role, he was like 60.
Wow.
Yeah, but he started playing it on his 20s, I think. But still, it's still fascinating to see this. If you watch some of the later seasons of that particular show, he looks like an old man and he's dressed like a kid, and people just kind of bought it. That was the show.
That was just the show.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
And it was fascinating. But yeah, I wish I could like, I don't know if I could show you like example. For one, I could probably show you the intro, right? For one, fuck that guy, he's dead, and 2, he stole the song anyway.
Fair enough.
What's he gonna do? Trademark my video?
I don't know, but there might be rights to
Those
it.
people might actually. But I don't care. I forgot what I was looking for. Oh yeah. You might. At the moment I show you the intro video, you might recognize it right away. Because this has been again, this has been in culture for a long time, and it's actually 1978.
Wow.
Este es el programa número 1 de la televisión humorística, El Chavo.
Yeah. That's funny because it says copyright.
Copyright, yeah.
They have a copyright trademark on the intro. But it was just it's a show about kids and like the adults in their lives. It's very difficult to explain what the show is about. But it plays a lot like what can I describe it to? Black Mirror-ish, like not the same, not the theme, but the fact that it's the same actors playing different roles in different plays.
Okay.
Now, this is one section of the show where it's a little neighborhood, and everybody has their own character, right? She's the angry mom. There was a spoiled kid playing with the ball. There's a poor kid who lives in a barrel. And there's the skinny guy is a super poor dude that's always trying to dodge the rent guy.
Dodge the wow.
There's the guy who owns the property who's a big fat dude, and then he plays his own son who also like he just changes outfits and he's a kid with a
interesting
weird speech impediment. There's an older lady that's into the skinny guy who all the kids call her a witch because she's an older lady with white hair. It's the stupidest, like, there's very specific characters that you can recognize visually because they're all weird looking people. But again, there's all kinds of stories. There was never a theme to what the show was. And then there was another show where they're completely different characters. Like she's the wife, then the older guy's a doctor. There's another one where there are two crazy guys who just... There was a beautiful thing. I was actually talking to my mom about this particular episode where it's two crazy guys, kind of like us, sitting just talking dumb stuff, just the stupidest kind of conversations you can think of. And at some point, it was like, did you notice they break the fourth wall? Did you notice that there's a little window right there? It was like, what do you mean? And then they pan to the other camera, and it looks like it's a fucking studio camera.
Oh.
They filmed the studio camera. And that's such a weird fourth wall break.
Real quick, before you get off this, so if you look in the bottom right-hand corner, it says, what is that, Canal Retro?
Canal Retro, yeah.
What is that?
That means retro channel.
Means retro channel. That is done in it looks very similar to Cartoon Network's old logo.
It does. It looks like they stole the concept. But that looks like somebody who owns the YouTube channel where this was published.
Okay.
Chances are.
Is it?
Yeah.
Yeah, so okay.
So it's a YouTube owner, like the YouTube channel owner. They don't own the rights for that fucking video either. They just put their logo on it.
Their logo on
no,
it.
man, even though this is copyright on top of it.
Even though it
for
says
the company
copyright,
that actually owns that show.
That's great.
That's just a dick move.
To be fair, I mean, they didn't own the rights to the song, so you know.
I don't know if I can remember Los Chiflados. I think that's them. So basically that's it. Like, so look, this is again this. I'm not gonna bother with the audio here because it's all in Spanish. But so I'm gonna show you guys so you can see what I'm talking about. So he's basically staring, and he's realizing there's a little camera. Like there's a camera. Mm-hmm. And they start having the dumbest fucking conversation about it, and they get up close to it.
Very like Charlie Chaplin looking.
Very,
yeah. Right. Yeah.
That's actually the writer on the right.
Oh, really?
That's the main dude. That's and he's also playing the little kid on the other show.
I see.
But yeah, like you see how they're displaying.
They filmed the actual camera. Yeah.
And then there's a dude's up there with fucking headphones recording the show. He also gets this weird nervous tics where he starts going crazy like that, and he has to like hit him to get him out of it or something. Yeah. You know, very Stooges.
Yeah, very Stooges comedy. Yeah.
But at some point, they go like, "That means they've been filming us our entire lives. We can't have them do this." And so he grabs his hat and put it on the camera, and he's like, "I can't do this forever." And then he's like, "Oh my God, there's another one over there, and there's another one over there." Because this particular show is filmed with 3 cameras, like it's a classic style of filming a TV show,
right?
Where they have 3 cameras. At some point, they realize there's other cameras, and he was like, "I got a perfect idea." He grabs a brush and starts painting the cameras. Which I'm dying to know what they did. Did they put like a pint glass?
They probably put a glass over it.
Thousands of dollars. There's no way they just painted the lens.
Yeah, there's no way.
That is an absolute dick move. there's numbers on them and everything. So at some point they just kind of go like, hey, there's another one over there, and he goes and like, God damn it, and he goes and paints it, right? What's hilarious is that like at the end of the show you basically see nothing but black, right? That's the end of the show, and then you hear one of them like, did I ever tell you that one of my biggest dreams was being on television? And then the show just ends. And like, what the fuck was that about? I thought one of the weirdest examples in like my childhood of breaking the fourth wall and not understanding what that meant. Mm-hmm. But fourth wall breaks. What do you have any good examples of that? I think Animaniacs used to do it nonstop.
Oh, and yeah,
Deadpool is known for it.
My Animaniacs was pretty much my entire like opening to like breaking the fourth wall and stuff like that.
Animaniacs was the shit. We still never.
I grew up on Animaniacs and like Pinky and the Brain and
yeah, Pinky and the
stuff.
Brain is one of the inspirations for the title of this show. Mm-hmm. Which is because they said that Pinky and the Brain, one is genius, the other's insane.
Yeah.
And they showed the opposites on the intro, making you question who is the insane one, who's the genius. But I say we still have to learn this song, you know.
Well, the countries of the world, yeah, we'll learn that. Don't play it? We don't. That will definitely get copyrighted.
Oh yeah, because that's coming back. Yeah. The Animaniacs is still kind of on
that'll get copyrighted.
Fuck. All right, but yeah. So how was your childhood? Tangent. I don't even know where I'm going.
My childhood was pretty okay. The hose still fits pretty well, so you know I
the what?
What?
What the fuck? You're gonna throw curveballs on me. I'm very tired, by the way. This is whiskey with energy drink. That's what I'm drinking today.
Wow, that is ballsy. That is ballsy.
By the way, news about my life. Turns out my medication causes.
We talked about that last week.
Did we? Okay, I don't remember if I asked about.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's the thing.
How is your medication going?
Pretty
You're not
good,
gonna
actually.
Die on me, right?
No, I'm getting hornier, so it's working.
That's fair.
That's a sign that the testosterone's going back up, so I get hornier. So that's a thing. What else? Don't you just love having a fucking talk show with no fucking subject?
Oh, we have. We can pull something out of our ass.
I discovered also, you know the John Oliver show, right, on HBO?
Yeah.
It's called Last Week Tonight. I discovered that there is a Mexican version of this show, and it's not a ripoff. It's HBO Latino, like the Latin version of HBO. Paid a comedian from Mexico to do an identical version of the show, not but because it's political and you know very very educational, very well researched. But it's about Mexican culture, stuff on TV, the references he makes are about Mexican pop culture. So someone who's from here that speaks Spanish might not get any of that.
Do you know enough? You started learning English when you were 14.
14,
right?
yes.
Did you get into bringing it back to freaking Deviant? I guess we'll actually start a decent subject.
Yeah.
When it comes about kink in Mexico, what is that like? Like, is that really a thing?
Honestly, you got to understand, I left at 14, so I was never an adult down there.
That's fair.
I've never fucked in Mexico.
Right, but I'm assuming...
I went down on a girl once, but I was 18. I visited. I visited an ex-girlfriend, things led to, but I wasn't ready for sex at the time, so I just went down on her, because I'm a gentleman. But no, that's I think there was absolutely no. I have no memory of any kind of sexual behavior or anything. There was a lot of locker room talk with kids.
Right.
Like, this is how you fuck a girl, but it was none. Like none of them knew.
Fair enough. I was like, when you do visit back, did you?
I wonder what the culture is like. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm wondering like what is the kink culture like in Mexico, if you happen to know.
So while I'm doing this, basically watching, there's already 4 seasons of this particular show that is basically John Oliver for Mexico.
Right.
I'm learning a lot about the culture that I didn't know about.
Really?
Because he's talking about adult things, government things, cultural things. Just based on the way I perceive that show, he's an atheist. He criticizes religion heavily, which I can't imagine that's particularly popular in Mexico. I could be wrong. Maybe the culture turned to where the average person doesn't really buy any of this.
Well, yeah, I mean, you look at it from outside, from over here, we just, all negative connotation aside, Mexico's always seemed to be particularly Catholic.
And there's a whole episode he makes about how Mexico has a very ignorant culture. is scientifically illiterate is the term he uses. Our country tends to not believe scientists. They still like a big like he says something like 30% of Mexicans believe in that a scientist has a particular power that makes him worthy of fear.
Interesting.
They legitimately, because of movies probably, believe in the crazy scientists that just make shit up and is a danger to the world.
That's interesting.
Very interesting. Again, I'm learning about my own culture from an outside perspective because I have not been in Mexico for very long. Now I grew up in it. I just never I was not old enough to start
You kind
questioning.
of got I think there's definitely a child culture versus like adult culture type of thing. Because there's just lots of stuff you just don't think about when you're a kid.
Yeah, I was never an adult in Mexico, so that's never something that I dabbled in. I did have conversations with my mom, and something that blew my mind was that when we talk about the political, what do you call it, interference here, my mom just like, in Mexico, that's just commonplace. They will legitimately go to poor parts of the cities and give them food, like almost like food stamps, like bag of rice, milk for a vote. They buy votes. And that's just standard. It's illegal, by the way.
Yeah.
But who the fuck is persecuting? Nobody. They're just like, they want the vote so they can change the law. Also, I just learned today that Mexico doesn't have presidents, doesn't have second terms.
There's no second term.
It's 6 years per president, and you're not allowed to ever run again. So there's no such thing as re-election. And apparently there was a president that tried re-election, and like they cut him off fast.
Jeez.
Yeah, that's not okay. You can't get reelected. So that's interesting. Denko82.
This is 0 viewers. I know. Well, we get most of our people who are listening anyway.
Yeah, most of our audience is actually listeners, not viewers. We're not very good looking, and I didn't do a particularly good job in this chroma key thing. I was just fucking with it because I have a fucking three.
Yeah, we do have a. Yeah, it's neat.
It's a very expensive green screen that comes out of the ground, and I was just fucking with it. And also today we got delayed a lot because of the fucking.
Yeah, there's rain.
There's a massive storm right now going on.
Big storm that's coming. So if it does shut, if everything.
Oh yeah, the
shuts
power
off,
might go out. That's happened in a previous podcast.
It took me an extra almost 40 minutes to get here. Got stuck in the rain. It was really bad. Yay! Gotta love those rain times. It's gonna flood here.
I don't think you were being a hater.
No, we're good.
You couldn't hurt our feelings if you tried. I don't know about yours, but it's hard to hurt mine. You found the one thing once.
I'm very proud. I am very proud that I managed to get under your skin once.
And that's where the phrase "nothing is sacred" came from.
Yep.
You found the one thing that pissed me off.
The one thing.
But
things can affect you.
Yeah,
you just got to get really in there.
There's very little things I give a shit about enough to get offended.
Oh yeah,
I think that's
fair.
really where
that's
I'm
fair.
at.
Yeah.
So there's things I care about and still not enough to get mad. I do believe I got mad not long ago when somebody insulted you. Not to your face, but there was like,
everything.
that
I remember
guy
that.
on your podcast.
Yeah,
like,
I remember that.
Fuck you, that's my best friend. What is wrong with you? But that's pretty much it. What the fuck was I had so many. So I've been basically binge watching this show, and kind of like John Oliver, he jumps in. I want him at some point. I hope there's 4 seasons of this, so it's gonna be a while before I get caught up. But apparently, he's really well researched, and he goes in every kind of direction, from poverty to homosexuality to the pedophile priest. They actually talk about that, and like, oh wow.
How is homosexuality in Mexican culture?
There is a lot of taboo with the religion being against it,
right?
And there is actually, this is a problem. It's not illegal for those conversion centers to use torture tactics and stuff.
I see.
Speaking of torture tactics, I need to bring this up. I gotta find it real quick. I found somebody on Facebook published part of the contract for the McKinney Manor we were talking about. That fucking place that is a haunted house, but it's not a haunted house.
Oh yeah, we could do a total. Oh man, next week is going to be a haunted house special.
We should really, because it's Halloween. We got. I want to look up the entire contract and go through that shit. Now, I did find I think it's like 20 of the lines. Mm-hmm. It starts like at 40 something and ends at 60 something. So there's a lot of bullshit in there.
Basically saving their ass.
it's not even saving their ass. I don't believe that contract is legally binding. I do not believe that's possible. Some of that shit is like something you couldn't even do with BDSM shit.
Well, it depends on where
Even
they're
if-
located.
Even if they signed it, they're in Tennessee now.
They're in Tennessee. I
Yeah,
have no
they got
idea.
shut down in San Diego. They got shut down in I think Albuquerque,
Albuquerque.
and now they're in Tennessee. And now it's just that one dude. There's also pictures of this lady who who was part of it, who went through it. I don't like the name being popped there.
Yeah, we don't. I mean, we can just zoom in and then read it because.
Well, I think I can just save the picture, right?
Probably.
I can't. Can you even read it there?
I can't
It's
read that.
Ridiculous.
That's way too in there.
So I might just not put it on the screen and put it on my phone here.
And then we'll just read it out.
Yeah. But it's fucking infuriating, some of the shit that you hear here. So this is a post by somebody here, and it says, I've seen a lot about McKinney Manor on my newsfeed. This is not a haunt. It's not even in San Diego anymore. He doesn't have any of the original actors. It's just him, a new minion, and another volunteer on his backyard in Tennessee. I was an administrator for him. I have known him personally for 4 years, helped him run his page and get people on the waiting list. The waiver is ridiculous. We've had people back out from doing the tour because of how insane it was. One of my friends left with a missing tooth, a dislocated jaw, and right down beat up. Does this look or seem like fun to you? I'll add more details and pictures over time. So, again, this is someone who just basically turned on him. That is not okay with the amount of attention he's getting. So, we got the waiver. Oh, by the way, for those of you listening, if you haven't listened to us before, there is a haunted house or someone who claims to be a haunted house called McKinney Manor, and they're the most extreme by almost any. We're both from the haunt culture.
We're both from haunt culture. We both haunt scene stuff,
yeah,
doing
it's
charity
scary.
haunts, things like that.
Yeah, and it's a bit of it's sort of a bit of an artistic thing. What does that say? Kombucha is not a drinkable liquid. I don't know what the fuck he's talking about. Deviancy and it happens. Yeah, we'll
have an entire episode. Like next week, we'll do an entire deep dive into haunted houses
Absolutely.
and the deviancy that happens behind haunted houses. It can get a little weird. It's not the type that you think it is. It's really crazy. It's not. It really isn't like you're like I think this happens. Like no, probably chances are that stuff doesn't happen, but something else weird happens.
Very weird shit. But so there was a Netflix documentary. This is actually how this kind of gained some steam because this guy has been underground for a very long time.
Yeah.
And he doesn't do it for money, which to me is a red flag.
Yeah.
That he's putting thousands of dollars to building this haunted house in his own house.
Air quotes, haunted house.
Yeah, I'm doing air quotes, sorry for the guys listening. And he builds this thousands of dollars. He has to get permits and all kinds of shit. And he doesn't charge anyone anything to go through it. He has to book you, get a medical record, sign a 40-page waiver. What else? Oh, hi. We got more people watching here. But yeah, so this dude has this absurd amount of things to do. And the payment he asked for is like 4 cans of dog food.
Yeah, it's like several
that he
cans
then
of dog food.
Donates to some kind of charity. And I'm like, so I think that's how he's getting away with this is a charity and not a business.
Talk raid. Sweet.
I don't know what that means.
It's a raid. We got raided.
Oh, a bunch of people are joining.
Yeah, a bunch of people are joining.
Hi.
Wait, I know about this guy.
Oct underscore October.
Oct_tober. That's cool.
But yeah,
Right.
so there was a Netflix documentary called Hunters, which talks about haunted houses and the haunted house culture, and
it's a good documentary.
It's
pretty
very
good. You
interesting
should
because we
look
learn
at it.
like I learned a lot about other places that do similar stuff, and it's very cool. But fucking at some point it gets to that particular guy. And it just becomes like, this is not a haunted house, though. Like, he's doing this torture porn thing. Part of the waiver is that he requires that you allow him to film, and you might or might not get a copy of the film. Right? Mm-hmm. Now, one of the things that they're known for is not to have a safe word. So, there's no safe word there.
Yeah.
You can't say, I want to get the fuck out of here. They don't let you. Mm-hmm. They don't let you out until they broke you, until they mentally fucked you up. So now on Facebook somebody posted this thing and they kind of released a lot of the rules on the waiver and they're absurd, and they highlighted the ones that are most fucked up, but I'm gonna read them all because I don't care. But it's
we
like
can trade that off.
yeah, You want me to start with those, or just fucking go with everything?
Well, let's do just the really bad ones, and then I'll look over and see if there's any crazier ones.
All right, so 50 participants fully understand and agrees that one participant enters MM, which is McKinney Manor. There is no quitting unless serious physical or psychological injury is present. That defines.
What do they mean?
That defines we don't let you out until we break you.
Yeah.
Literally saying it. Rule 52. You want to do it?
I'll do Rule 52. Participants fully understand and agrees that being scared, having a panic attack, etc., does not count as a serious injury.
What the fuck?
And then participant fully understands and agrees that their tour may include the use of hypodermic needles, zappers,
what?
tasers, or dog shock collars.
What the fuck is happening? That's just 3 rules that were highlighted because they're the worst,
Yeah,
right? But there's a bunch of extra
there's
ones.
a whole
We can go
bunch
through
of them.
detail, but like I'm gonna keep reading. There's like 3 or 4 pages of the yellow. Oh, there's only 3 pages that were filled up. Where they yellowed out the more.
Yeah,
aggressive shit.
the more aggressive stuff. There's
So,
more. Oh my
Rule
God, there's
56,
more. There's more. Holy crap.
Participant fully understands and agrees that they may be fish hooked. I don't know that was a verb. They might be fish hooked, which may inadvertently cause rippage to the mouth area.
What?
That's not a fucking thing you can agree to legally.
Oh
There
my
is just
God.
no way. You want to go for 59?
Yeah,
We'll take it turns
59.
here because
Oh
this is
my
fucked
God.
up.
This is okay. Participant fully understands and agrees that if they are selected to visit the dentist in quotes, that they must have a tooth extracted without Novocaine and will not hold McKinney Manor liable.
Dude, go fuck yourself. What?
Oh my God.
That dude. Can you agree that that's not legal, right? There's just no way this is legally binding. There's no way you go like, whoa,
What,
she signed her tooth away. No, that's not how it works. What does that say?
Yeah, I'm like 1,000% sure there is no locale where this release form is legally binding.
There's just no way. District attorney says only legal because they volunteer and sign on because people have tried to sue to get him out of the neighborhood, and he has been kicked out of many neighborhoods.
He has been kicked out of several
won.
neighborhoods. All right, let's keep going. This
Next, okay.
Oh boy, I'm excited.
Participant fully understands and agrees that it is possible that joints, i.e., jaw, shoulder, elbow, wrist, knee, hip, etc., may be accidentally dislocated, and that participant will not hold McKinney Manor responsible.
We're allowed to dislocate your stuff. We're allowed to dislocate you.
That is so fucked up.
Here, give me your arm. I'm gonna pull it out of your socket.
So we're at 62 there. You want to go for that one?
Oh God, it just keeps getting worse. Participant fully understands and agrees that they will be participating in various medieval torture devices, such as knife throwing while strapped to a spinning wheel, shackles, chains, a gibbet cage, stocks, the rack, etc. etc. Oh my God, it just keeps getting worse. We're allowed to
terrifying.
legally medieval torture you. We'll just give you like we're just gonna put you in Saw.
Participant fully understand and agrees that water torture may be used. Oh my God. Next page. And we're only reading this part that someone highlighted because
there's also
there's a whole lot of shit we're skipping.
I'll read one of the ones I'll read one of the ones that isn't highlighted here. This is number 68. Participants fully understands and agrees that their nails may be removed from their nail beds.
What the fuck? Oh.
All right.
How is this a legal place to run in this country?
Participant fully understands and agrees that a nail may pierce their hand. Wow, that's biblical.
Just Jesus straight out.
Yeah, just give them Jesus.
Did they crucify people? That'd be fucked up. What if we can get if Catholics were against the movie Dogma, why aren't there Catholics going up in arms about this place doing fucking biblical torture bullshit? Because that is
that's something that's actually on video that they showed, where if you vomit, they'll force the vomit back inside you.
Yeah, that happens in the Netflix documentary. They talk about it. Then there's another one that got like a fucking ice scratch or something.
Yeah.
And they're like, you're fine. I'm
Yeah.
like, motherfucker, what? That dude is out of his mind.
The participant fully agrees that choking may occur and that gagging or vomiting may occur.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah, this is all just fucked. This is like.
And I'm dying. Like, if I could find a PDF
You
file
wonder
of
if this is what they had.
I want to do an entire episode reading all those fucking rules because that is the most ridiculous.
I bet you.
We have to cut them all apart. There's got to be something in there that fucks them up.
Just as a quick side note, you think that they made the guy who played Jesus in The Passion of the Christ sign one of these?
Wait, wasn't it the director? Oh, no, that wasn't him. No,
it wasn't him. No. It was a different dude, but I bet you he had to sign one of these.
Some shit like that. Like, dude, yeah, this is going to hurt. You know, but that's something I was going to bring up about that before. In Mexico, there is an actual tradition of replicating that thing happening for real. Wow. And they legit do do the thing. Wrong, by the way, because it's supposed to be on the wrist.
Yeah, you're supposed to put it like closer to the wrist.
They do it in the hand, and he they also strap him so he doesn't
rip his hands apart.
Yeah, because his own body weight will probably rip him out. But yeah, there's an actual there are some small cities in Mexico that actually do reenactments of the whole crucifixion and do it for real. Yeah, so it's fucking creepy. Humans are species, they're a weird species.
I mean,
yeah.
I wonder if I could sign up to be a Roman there.
You want to
do the flogging and do the stabbing.
Because that's your shit right there. I'll bring my own. It's fine.
I don't need a barbed cat like with glass. I already have one. I'll just bring mine.
No, you have to use the prop one. I was like, no, but I got the real one though.
Do you have to use the prop one?
I have no fucking idea. But I know that they do an actual torture thing, and there are people watching and crying and shit. Like, this is an emotional, spiritual experience in Mexico.
I mean, that's my spiritual experience, honestly. I cry whenever I get hit.
Look, we got an actual fucking massacre going. That's too much.
Yeah,
so this is how fucked up this is.
How about this? I have done.
Where are we at? What are you read 68 last?
Well, yeah, I read a couple of these. We're gonna skip down to that one.
Participant fully understands that agrees to choking maker. Yeah, you read that. Participant fully understands and agrees that he might have a plastic bag or plastic wrap on their face, which could possibly cause suffocation, blackouts, etc. And the participant would not hold make any matter. I'm just noticing that
we can just kill you. You know what? We can just kill you, and you can't sue us.
I'm noticing a lot of them say participant will not hold make any manner responsible for or liable, and I find that interesting because that's not on all of them.
Yeah, some of that's not on all of them.
Because I believe that ambiguity benefits the customer.
Yeah.
It's like, well, you didn't say I don't hold you accountable.
I agree with Chocolate here. Can't sue me if you're dead.
Yeah. But yeah, so that covers all the highlighted. I don't know if you want to just kind of skim through all the other stuff.
Yeah, I'll skim through some of that stuff.
Bring it up if something pops up to you. There's also pictures of a lady who.
We probably shouldn't show that. Yeah.
No, definitely not. But that went through, and you can see the massive difference.
Oh my God, she got fucked up. It's bad.
Yeah,
it's bad.
Last time I looked it up, they
shaved her head.
Yeah, they shaved her head too.
They took out a tooth.
They also pulled her piercing. She had a nose piercing and it's gone on the second picture.
Oh my God!
So they pulled that shit out. That happened in The Punisher, I think.
What
the
fuck? Yeah, they just ripped that shit right out.
Yeah, that's.
Oh my God, that's terrifying.
Yeah. And part of that is a haunted house, though. That's not a fucking thing. And so there's another thing. It seems like he's very interested on the video footage, right? Mm-hmm. And apparently, recently there's a news article that said that they are offering $20,000 to whoever can get through it. And the massive red flag just went off in my head. I'm like, this dude is desperate for footage.
Mm-hmm.
He might make his living selling that footage somewhere in the dark web.
Oh, I bet you he does. I bet you he.
There's probably some stream somewhere where he's putting that shit online. That very, very specific people are paying a fuckload of money to see this, and because people are afraid of this, or maybe that they read the rules and go fuck this shit, he might actually be desperate for more people, and legitimately say like, "Hey, I'll pay someone who gets through this," trying to get people to go through. And again, I've had friends on my Facebook that straight up like, "That sounds like fun. I'll sign up for that." It's like, dude, don't. Like, this is one of those that...
Yeah, don't sign up for this.
This is terrifying. Like,
yeah, this is... This is one of those ones where it's like, yeah, there are extreme haunted houses that are way better that will not straight up torture you.
Yeah, there's some ethical ones.
There are some more ethical haunted houses. They're haunt friends, aren't they?
No, actually,
I would not consider anybody who is hosting this McCanny Manor to be my friend.
oh, no. I'm assuming he means the people that would be into it that are from that scene, but no, they're not.
No,
the people
not
that told me
generally.
that sounds cool.
You don't need to torture someone to scare the crap out of them.
There's no art to that.
No.
You're no longer artistically scaring someone. You are legitimately fucking someone up to get them scared. It's 10 hours to get the money. Oh, you have to be 10 hours in the haunt.
And to get the money, you have to take at least one tooth.
What? No. That's not worth $20,000. Is it?
I have no idea.
I mean, we were going to do something for 10.
I mean, that is significantly more safe than the stuff that they are doing.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's so fucking weird. How is that? Again, most of the posts I see on Facebook are like, how is that dude allowed to continue this? And I have a feeling that the borderline is not a business.
Yeah, it's completely
charity.
It's a charity.
And you volunteer and participate.
I bet you he's still gonna get sued the crap out of.
It's probably been sued a lot of people are probably trying to sue him, and I guess he moves counties or some shit.
Moves states, moves counties.
I just ended up in Mexico one day.
Oh, jeez.
I was listening to a song, in a Mexican, like a Spanish song, bitching about Trump. And one of the things like, you think we send you a words, motherfucker? You sent us the words. And it's actually a very common thing that criminals here bail to Mexico. That's a fucking common theme. Whereas it's not as common for Mexicans who are criminals to come to the United States. It's harder to be criminal here than there. So most criminals go down. They'll go south, not north. You know what I mean?
I don't know.
Yeah, I mean drug sales that they go in every direction, but people that like murder someone and they're trying to get away with it and they don't want to be persecuted, they usually go south, not north. And that happens here too. People in America, they get caught doing some shit and they go to Mexico.
Interesting.
Yeah, it's some weird shit.
I don't know. You might find him in Mexico, in which case you might find like a John Oliver type show on that. Yeah, the one you've been watching.
Yeah, that dude. Yeah, his name is Chumel. If anybody, out of our listeners, that's his actual name. I think it's Chumel Torres, and it's Chumel. That's the name of the show, Chumel, and it's with Chumel Torres, which means the name of the show is his first name because he has a weird fucking name. Maybe I should have named the show Spider, with Spider and Alex. Like
what?
It's such a weird thing to name a show after yourself. Just like Marilyn Manson, the band is called Marilyn Manson.
Yeah, it is really weird. I never noticed that.
Yeah.
I don't know.
But yeah, so fuck that guy. that's weird.
This is our rant this week, so we don't have to rant about it next week.
Yeah. I'd like to talk about some of the cool things about being
again, we have next week to go do and actually be in like haunted house, because you and I are very integrated with the haunted house culture and stuff.
I could probably bring Iris into that too. She probably has a lot of insight too.
Probably. You can bring her on as a guest. That'd be great.
Yeah, because she came for the wrestling thing because she's a wrestling nerd like me, but she's also a fucking big name haunt person. I know a couple others. It'd be cool if we get
we have a lot of haunt friends.
Yeah, it'd be cool if we had like a full studio full of like people.
Oh, dude, I just finished up some leatherworking.
Put a microphone in front of the room and just. Huh?
I just finished up some leatherworking today.
Fuck yeah! What do you get?
I made like a little bottle thing, but normally, yeah. That's actually something that. One sec. Let me read this comment. As far as I've researched, it's only being allowed because the people volunteer, but once/if they change their mind inside, then technically it's illegal. Yeah.
You can't deny someone the ability to leave your place. It doesn't matter if they voluntarily walked in. That's silly.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so the thing is, there's something I remember posting about. Apparently, somebody's like, yeah, they do have a safe word. It's like, no, they don't. They proudly say they don't. And on the actual Netflix special, the dude actually says, no, that's weak.
Having a safe word's weak? Yeah,
motherfucker,
okay.
what? But so apparently, and when I Googled it, like the actual response by Google was apparently they got in so much trouble that now they claim to have a safe word. But when you say it, they don't really stop.
So it's
So
not
there
a safe
is a
word.
safe word, but they don't actually stop when you say it. It's not a fucking safe word. They're just pretending to have one to get away with it, so that there's rumors flying low. There is a safe word.
There is a safe word. We just don't. You can say it, but it's just like every other word. We just call it safe.
Yeah. Look, so those mechanical. Well, there is a safe word. One participant named her. I'm not gonna name that.
Yeah,
out
don't
loud,
name
but,
them. On,
says that during her experience, she repeated the safe phrase for several minutes before employees stopped torturing her. She later went to a hospital for extensive injuries. Participants can also be drugged during their experience. Are you fucking serious? I need to get my hands on that contract. I want to read all of that. They're allowed to be drugged? What the fuck? Dude, they could roofie them, fuck them, and then throw them outside. What is happening? How is that legal? Oh my god!
like,
I didn't read that last line before.
got drugged.
What the fuck?
Here, does this taste like roofie to you?
Oh god. What is happening?
Oh Jesus! Why? That's a great question.
Funny
Why?
enough, I'm gonna try to avoid getting political, but
Just avoid being
there's
political.
one person I would like to throw in there. Yeah.
Just one?
Yeah.
Okay.
A guy of a particular.
Hey, does this cloth smell like chloroform to you?
Yeah. Tell me, please tell me. I think I've seen that actually work in a movie or something.
Hey, what does this smell like? Yeah, so that's a thing, McKinney Manor.
Yeah, so
Amy Manor.
that's a thing that shouldn't be a thing. Jesus fuck. What the hell is happening?
You think there's a place like that in Mexico?
I hope not. Isn't there countries where they have like hostels and shit where that's like a real business practice where they torture people, like you pay to torture someone?
Wow, I have no idea. That is way outside my expertise.
Are you serious? I don't know why that. There's a movie about it.
There's a movie called Hostel,
So
but I thought it was
figured-
about. I
and
thought
it
it
was
was
based
about.
on supposedly in some weird country. There's gotta be. I mean, there's sex trafficking
Oh,
and all kinds of
probably. You
weird
could-
shit.
you could probably
so
find
there's gotta be
something.
some people
Yeah.
that are like BDSM people.
Extremists.
Yeah, who pay for, and then some asshole kidnaps some girls to
Hostile
let them do it.
hostels.
What the fuck? I want to get close to the screen and see what face that is, because I swear that looks like from American Psycho, doesn't it?
It isn't, but yeah, it does look from over here, from so far away. It does look like it.
Yeah, I can't fucking tell.
Oh man, that would be a fun little emote, like an American Psycho, like smiley face.
Yeah,
I would enjoy that. That'd be pretty cool.
yeah. What else? What else is interesting happening in the world right now?
We got all sorts of stuff. So yeah, I was actually gonna talk more about the whole Mexican gay thing actually, because that was actually really fascinating.
Yeah, I wish
Now
like,
that we're done with that,
I wish we could like I can't want to rewatch it and then like kind of translate. I think there's subtitles on it.
there's
So we
subtitles.
can rewatch it and learn a little bit. Again, this is fascinating to me because
Because
now
I don't know
have
like anything about Mexico.
me neither. I mean,
Apparently.
nothing adult wise and
That's
political and cultural stuff like that.
I mean, did you ever meet as a youth in Mexico? Did you ever meet any gay people?
Yes, there was a couple that were openly gay, and I had no idea that was dangerous at the time.
Really?
This is something I like recently talked to my mom. Like, didn't we have the neighbor who was always like dressed like a girl and like he talked very feminish? Feminish? Is that a thing? Anyway, but like I remember like when that guy added me on Facebook recently, and I asked my mom like, is he like he's gay, right? Like there's no question. Nobody ever asked him. But I'm like, who the fuck dresses like he's like a hairdresser, like that's his job.
Oh man.
He always wore a bunch of makeup and dress in female clothing. So it was like, but it was like that's just in our particular group. That's fine, right? But then I did some research. And apparently that was at least when I was growing up. That's definitely dangerous. Like if he had gone to the wrong neighborhood, he wouldn't beaten the fuck up. That's just a thing that happens.
Jesus.
Brazil was one of those, like the president or prime minister, whatever the fuck you call the guy. That dude's a fucking like no gays in this country. There is no homosexuals here. Like just Trumpian mentality where he just claims reality. That's a thing in Brazil, yeah. So, but
That's
yeah,
crazy. And you said that the gay conversion camps are legal in Mexico.
they're legal. Yeah, they shouldn't be, but they're completely allowed, and
And torture is allowed.
they're usually based through a religion. There's a particular church that owns it, and they recruit people from the church. Someone who goes to the church to pray and goes to a prison like, Forgive me, Father,
Are
I
they-
have sinned.
are they
I
Catholic
had sex
based?
with it. Yeah, I guess so. I mean, most of Mexico is good night. Most of Mexico is pretty Catholic. I also saw another episode of this particular show about they call them sectas, which I believe here would be cults,
Cults. Ooh.
where they, yeah, it's a distinction. Like, don't be fooled into thinking these are religions. If the main guy, a human,
Which is weird because it sounds like you're trying to say sects.
Oh, it might be that. But the way I translate it in my head, what he's referring to is a cult.
Well,
But what's a
because
sect?
A sect is like the difference between like a Baptist and a Southern Baptist. Like they're different sects.
Yeah,
of a
that's not what
religion.
they were talking about. They were talking about the ones that are usually pyramid schemes. They usually benefit the leader.
So,
they
like a-
defined a cult, but they called them a secta.
Oh, okay.
And apparently there is a big one up there that were like the guys were like the main guy was branding his initials on females' genitalia.
Whoa! Holy crap!
That's a straight up story that did happen in a particular
Wow.
cult in Mexico. Yeah.
That is insane.
Yeah, that's a thing. They might share a linguistic root.
Yeah,
it sounds
probably.
like it. Because again, when they define it, like, oh, that's a cult. To
That's a
Americans,
cult.
that's a cult.
Yeah, that's
but up
definitely
there
a
they call it a
cult.
secta because
Holy
it's not a particular
crap.
religion and it's not a section of a religion. But they tend to do.
Branding genitals.
Yeah, that's
That's
a thing.
That's kinky.
Yeah.
I'm sporting a chub right now.
But yeah, apparently the dude just put his initials on women's bodies, and that's
That's disturbing.
yeah. And at some point, there was an interview with like they didn't show her face, but it was like that the leader asked to take her daughter to serve him, and she was proud of this.
Wow.
Like it's like at the time, I was part of the religion. It's like, oh my God, what an honor! God has blessed her to be, the servant of that one guy. That's a whole thing. There's another one there that
I think October here is like, wait, is that the Mim guy? I don't know what the Mim guy is.
me neither. Mim is that correctly spelled?
M-I-M.
October. You wanna
Or MLM? Is that MLM? I can't see from the. It might be MLM.
MIB MLM.
Multi-level marketing.
Oh,
Oh,
that's not very
yeah,
useful.
but
But I can probably pull the show and kind of show you what I'm talking about. There's another one where, pyramid scheme. So he meant, they did it.
Pyramid scheme.
I don't know. Again, this particular show based on a bunch of different ones, and at some point they showed footage in a place in Brazil where the priest is like beating the shit out of a woman, like grabbing her by the hair and just like punching her and shit, and it's like, what the fuck is
Jesus.
that? And he puts the mic on her and she's doing the fucking exorcist bullshit.
Speaking in tongues.
Yeah, that bullshit.
Dude, I love people who speak in tongues. They're
And
the
it's like
funniest
she's-
shit.
But that means this bitch is getting punched in the face and she's still playing the role, right? Because we know she's not possessed by the fucking devil.
NX via.
It's not a thing.
Nix via
Oh,
or something.
yes, I believe that's the one with the branding thing. I'm just gonna look for Mexican cult.
Mexican cult.
There
There
can be a whole lot. That's a huge one. Like there's Sons of Presidents in it.
Really?
And it's terrifying. Mexican cult.
I've heard about that one.
Santa Muerte. Never heard of that.
I
Oh, the
have heard of
Saint
that
Death.
one. Yeah.
Oh, and NX. Yeah.
Yeah.
Nixium. It is a U. Nixium.
Oh, it is a U?
Yeah, Nixium. That's how they pronounce it.
Nixium.
Yeah.
Want in Mexico.
And
wow.
yeah, the dude's in jail. Alleged sex cults infiltrated the country's political elite.
Carved
yeah,
his initials into them. Okay. That's intense. I had no idea that this was
that
a thing.
had two different a son of an ex-president and a daughter. The daughter of the guy that was talking shit to Trump, Vicente Fox. His daughter was part of that religion.
Wow.
Like it's
That
connected
is-
as fuck. Yeah, it's
Well, that's disturbing.
fucking creepy. But yeah, it's similar to what is the Dianetics or whatever the fuck.
Yeah, that one. Yeah.
It's very similar to that here, where it's just high political people who are doing it, and
wow.
who's gonna stop them?
That
And
is.
Mexico is corrupt as fuck. So it's one of the weirdest.
Wow. That is.
Yeah, I kind of want to show you the show now because, like, again,
Yeah,
I learned
this
so
is
much
what-
about Mexican culture. I had nothing to do. I don't understand any of that. like some of the topics. Apparently, that guy that was shit talking Trump, the ex-president, that guy was president from 2000 2006, which is when I left. My mom voted for him.
Right.
That dude is considered crazy by Mexicans. By Mexican standards, people are like, oh, that's fucking nuts. This is
Okay, so you
not,
might
not
not
on
know
the
this.
Trump level, but it's like, yeah, he's crazy enough to go talk shit to that orange dude in the other country. That's him.
Okay, I want to know, in Mexico, is there, did you ever, you might not know this, is there like a Mexican Florida?
Oh, it's basically a state that everybody
A
thinks
state that everyone, a part of the Mexican
that we
Mexico.
consider. Well, I mean, that we consider crazy or stupid.
I want to know. I want to look this place up.
I'm thinking. But there is a thing in Monterrey is one of the biggest cities, and it's sort of a stereotype that people there are, what is it called? Tight, like well, we consider Jews here, like they don't like to spend money.
Oh,
I forgot what the term is.
Yeah.
Stingy, I guess.
Stingy.
Yeah.
Stingy is a good word for that.
Yeah,
I
so
can't
that's
think of it all.
that's a stereotype there. There's also a speech pattern known by people born where I was born, Mexico City, that there, for one, there's a term for them called chilangos, and it means from that city, and
Okay.
very inappropriate jokes. Very a lot of, there's something called albur, which I don't know how to translate, but I think it's like double when you have double meanings.
Okay.
They
Double
use a lot of
entendre?
double entendre jokes. They're known for that, and they're also known to be uneducated. Not, you know what I mean? Like,
Okay.
I
get it.
Yeah, that's a Mexico City thing, which is where I'm from, but I didn't grow up there, so I didn't actually know
Fair
that
enough.
we're technically looked down upon by most Mexicans.
So
like,
you
yeah,
were
we're-
born
we're-
in Florida.
Yeah, I was born in Mexico.
You were born in the Mexican
I
Florida.
find it hilarious
mean-
because there's a state Mexico, there's a city of Mexico, and it's in the Mexican like the country of Mexico.
So you could have Mexico.
You can actually be in Mexico. Yeah.
That's
Imagine
great.
if there was a United States. I think there's an America. There's a city called America.
Yeah, I think there's more than one city called
Yeah.
America. Well, yeah. The
just-
county of America and the city of America in
Yeah.
America.
Yeah.
That'd be pretty cool.
There's that for New York. There's a New York County, New York City, New York State.
Yes.
That's a thing. But yeah.
But it doesn't go all the way up.
No, not all the way to the country. It's fascinating.
Yeah, we don't live in New York.
Yeah, it's interesting. I do believe there is a city of Mexico which is in a federal district, not in the state of Mexico.
What?
The state of Mexico is right next to it.
That's interesting.
Yeah. But I believe there is another city called Mexico in the state of Mexico.
Pretty big anarchist group housed in Acapulco.
Anarchist group. I wouldn't be surprised. That's another thing that most people don't like. That Mexico is fucking huge. Like, it's about as big as this country is. When it was bigger. They took a big chunk of it. But no, it's pretty big because you would, like, when you see it in a map, it's not a very good, because America's more centered to the equator, and when you put that on a flat map, it just doesn't shape correctly. But it's a comparable size to the United States. So it's something like 70%, maybe 60% of what the United States is. Whereas when you see it on a flat map, it looks like it's less than half of the size of it. But that's because it gets deformed from the globe. When you stretch it, it actually loses because it's a little further from the equator. Does that make sense?
I mean, it makes sense to me. I know how. Yeah.
Things on the equator get expanded bigger. So
Non-
Brazil looks way
non-Euclidean
bigger.
geometry. I know it quite well.
Okay, so it's just it's fascinating, but it's actually quite big, and there is kind of like here. There's states where they're known for completely different things, and they talk shit about these other states.
Mexico is
Just-
0.7 million square miles.
Uh,
U.S. is 3.8 million
oh, okay,
square
so I'm
miles.
wrong.
Yeah, that's a straight up
0.7.
wrong. Get told.
Yeah, no, well, I mean, okay. I remember doing the globe thing where they stretch it, and it's like, wow, that's completely the wrong side. I think Texas also looks way smaller than it is in real life. It's the opposite.
Texas is actually really big.
Yeah.
I love Texas.
But you see, we're out of space here. We can't take any more Mexicans. We're just out of space. Trump said that. It's the weirdest. You're like, wait, fucking what?
I got the solution to all of our problems. We just annex Mexico.
No. That's the weirdest thing. There was a treaty. There was a thing the dude was talking about how there's a treaty with Mexico, Canada, and the United States. Where like we know which way the flavor is going. Because it's like it's like being Ringo, you know? Like, yeah, I'm one of the Beatles, but come on.
But come on.
But not really. It doesn't even touch.
I love Ringo. Don't diss on my Ringo. I love my Ringo. Ringo's the best.
But yeah, Mexico's is struggling to catch up. It's actually not terrible. Like you look at places, they definitely look down at Venezuela.
I've never been to Venezuela.
There's also a whole episode about who hates who.
Really?
Yeah, like Panamanians hate Peruvians, and Peruvians hate Argentinians, and Argentinians hate Spaniards. Like there's a whole network of hate. Of
wow.
You would think all Latinos would like be. There's also Latino versus Hispanic, and the definition was who speaks Spanish, because that excludes Portugal and Brazil. They don't speak Spanish there.
That's interesting.
Where Latin America is any country that includes Latin languages, right? Would that includes France?
That's interesting.
And now we're Latin countries means that the language comes from Latin, and there's a fuckload of countries that are not in Latin America technically, what we know in Latin America, that also speak those. So yeah, like that includes Spain.
That's interesting.
Yeah. So yeah, I found that fascinating. Anyway, sorry.
I find this incredibly fascinating. Again, as someone who grew up here, it's way
finding
different.
out. Okay, Chocolate's about to ask you a question.
So wait, here we go. I'm excited.
I'm excited for this question. People from like Romania are technically, theoretically, according to that definition, which is again, people don't use it that way.
Yeah. According to that definition, then they are. It'd be really weird.
Very strange. Yeah.
Very strange.
But
I have a quick question. Yeah, you may not know this. You probably don't. Is Greek? I think Greek is considered Latin, isn't it?
Yes, and that was also one of the countries that was listed.
That was one of the countries that was listed. Greece.
They defined 3 different terms. There's a third term that I'm not actually familiar with, so I didn't memorize it. But there was another third term that ends up including way too many
Greek
fucking
is not
countries.
Latinate. Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
I just don't know.
Yeah,
I don't know. Like I said,
I
I don't know this at all. Like language is really not.
I thought Greek and Latin were different things at the time.
Are related, but Greek does not descend from Latin. Interesting.
They're like cousins. No, cousins are related.
Cousins are, more like third cousins.
Yeah, something like that. I always find that interesting how language is analogous to evolution.
I mean, yeah.
Language evolves in such a way, and it's like no Latin-speaking mother gave birth to a Spanish-speaking son and a French-speaking son. That's not how that worked out. Mm-hmm. So that's very.
I mean, we
very cool.
evolved with language, and language evolved with us. So
yeah. So language changed. Do you ever hear that? What was it? This
it's
island...
a little weird to think about it, but if you do think about it, to take that analogy one step further, a mother didn't give birth to a language-speaking individual.
No, it didn't.
No, it didn't. Like
the
language.
individual learned language later.
Yeah, they didn't just learn a
point.
language. It just was a thing. Language just happened to be there.
Well, because that's one of those arguments that people who are anti-evolution try to make. Like, why isn't it that a dog can't make a baby with a cat and have a cat dog? It's like, because that's not how evolution works. That would disprove evolution, actually. Mm-hmm. If that were to work, evolution is not right.
Yeah.
But theoretically, if you look back, there was actually an animal. I forgot what the name was. That is an arboreal animal. That is the connection between cats and dogs, and it's a ferret-like creature that. Some of them became dogs, some of them became cats. It's way the fuck up there in the fucking tree.
It's way up there.
But they are connected. They are both mammals. They are both cannibals.
Mm-hmm. Not cannibals. I mean,
cannibals.
They can be cannibals.
No. Was it
carnivores?
Carnivores. Sorry. It's like
they're both cannibals. Wait. Hold up.
Sorry.
I don't know about that one.
But that is definitely we know that there is distinctions we make with animals, like feline. Mm-hmm. Versus canine, but they're both mammals, and so we use that terminology some people will use that terminology not acknowledging that that's what connects them at some point high up. Mm-hmm. That at some point there's a thing that wasn't a mammal that was related to them, and that's the thing that they connected on.
Yeah, there's the start.
Yeah. Oh, fuck my head. All right.
It seems like your back is going. Being
Yeah,
a
I
little
know.
weird.
I miss my back.
You miss
thing.
your back? You miss your back? Yeah, me too.
Yeah,
me
I'm
too.
sorry.
I miss it. Next time we
So
won't
we
do this.
usually lean on the back wall, which we keep ripping that thing from the ceiling. We really shouldn't.
We
do
really
it.
shouldn't do that. No.
But this time I put a green screen over here, and we can't really lean back on it. I mean, what happens if we do it? Like, does it fuck everything up?
it's a little weird.
It's like
a
holding
little
a mirror. Like, it's weird. Celtics are also IIRC. I don't know what that means.
Yeah, I have no idea. This goes way over my head.
We're doing
Again,
way more
language-
research than I'm.
Yeah, I do not have a computer in front of me. I cannot Google
Yes,
any
you
of this
do
stuff.
actually. What are you talking about?
Do not have access to the computer that is in front of me.
There's no keyboard and mouse in front of your face. It's not possible, right?
Don't. The people who are listening can't
Cheers.
see us.
There's a computer right fucking here.
God,
Oh fuck! I messed shit up. All right.
Oh, now we're on Yahoo. Time to look up porn.
Oh yeah, we haven't looked at Pornhub. There's 3 episodes of our show on Pornhub now.
Sweet. I'm excited about that.
Oh yeah, for the record, guys, if you're listening here, if you want to see us and you don't feel like going to YouTube or Twitch or add me on Facebook, we are also on Pornhub now. We're
Yeah, we did
officially.
Pornhub.
If you look for freaking Deviant, or is it the freaking? No, it's freaking Deviant.
It's
right?
freaking Deviant.
So if you look for freaking
the
Deviant,
freaking the Deviant wasn't. It didn't.
it's a little too long.
They didn't really like it when I was doing that, so I just put a freaking Deviant. We need to get verified. We need to have the little poster thing. We can do that afterward.
he wants
need
to
to
be
be a gay
verified. We have to
couple.
pretend to be a gay couple.
I mean, we don't. I mean, we are a gay couple.
Yeah. Well, we're a couple and one of us is gay.
Yeah, there's a couple and one of us is gay.
I wonder what it takes. Like, do we have to just kind of like...
Oh yeah, no.
Pose.
It's literally we just pose and then we just have like a little handwritten sign.
Honestly,
That's
with
it.
that poster behind it, this looks gay as fuck.
I know, dude. Why did you put that up today?
It's the only picture I have of both of
Oh
us
my
that
God.
looks kind of like a poster.
I mean, you can put the one where my eyes are like where I'm wall-eyed.
I
and
couldn't
looks
find
really
it. I
bad.
know I have it. I couldn't figure out where I had it.
Oh, that one's the best. I love that one. We need to make a shirt with that on there.
You want a shirt? I thought you said you had an artist working on it, so I don't want to put it on a shirt.
I need to talk to him. Like, he is not getting back to me. So
Got it.
that's a thing.
I can probably do it now, like while we're on the show.
Oh, actually mess with the the
Nobody's
background.
watching. It doesn't matter.
Actually, we have several people watching. Thank you very much.
We got all 3, dude.
I know that is more
They
than
let,
what
at
we-
some point we had 7. I don't know who.
Oh
the
wow,
fuck.
that chroma key is trash. Holy
Once you
crap!
see it on the bigger screen, it
Yeah,
looks like shit.
I can't
No,
say-
actually, it keeps changing when we put shadows on it. So the camera keeps readjusting. You see that? So it's good sometimes. Like, see, that's kind of clean. And then you fucked it up with the smoke. You're doing that on purpose, asshole.
I don't get this entire video editing thing.
You don't?
I sing. That's what I do.
Yeah, you're a singer. Oh, fuck, I messed that up. Oh, I shouldn't do that. All right. Fuck. Yeah.
Well, we can't see anything that's going on right now.
Yeah, no,
If you guys do post anything, we literally can't read it. So mods are asleep. Post pictures of Scooby Doo.
Oh, my God. No, so I came from this computer, though. I
Just
don't
like-
remember.
Hardcore.
Hardcore what?
What?
Oh fuck! It paused everything. Are we still visible? Can everybody see us? I'm sorry. The computer just.
Why are you doing this now?
Because I'm dumb.
Why?
I
Why
don't
do you
know.
do this?
I'm looking for pictures. Let's see. This show.
We're still
icon-
live. Do this later.
Why? Why would it matter? Nobody gives a shit. I don't give a shit. Do you give a shit? This show was doomed to fail when we started it. Remember?
I mean, that's fair.
I think that I was listening to the first episode, and the first thing you hear is you say planning. I'm done with planning. That was like your first words.
That's fair. That's definitely fair. We can just put like freaking Deviant on the back.
Like the actual
Yeah,
old
just
logo.
the logo. Yeah, I'm okay with that.
Oh, let's put this one right here.
That one, the nice like wallpaper one.
Yeah.
I need to get a wallpaper one.
So that's basically the logo from the. Oops.
Yeah, it's just like this tiny little portion of it. I don't think is there anything we can do about that?
This is the wrong size. I just gotta select it. It's too big a picture. Boss. Nope. Wait, I got an idea.
So I'm learning about all this fancy video editing things.
This is not even video editing. This is just OBS.
Okay, OBS.
It's about to be on top of everything, guys. I'm so sorry, but I'm just trying to fuck with it.
Wow, now all we see is like an FR and then DE. It looks like a V, so for the dev is what
For the dev.
is
Oh,
what
it's
we're
locked.
looking
That's the
like.
problem. Okay, so now I can select it. Yeah. So I've messed with it wrong. Okay.
Yep, yeah, okay.
So now I get to resize it. Sorry. Everybody can see what I'm doing
For
here.
the dev is the best.
How big do you want it?
You know how big I like it.
I know how big you like it, yeah. But,
Apparently we're a gay couple, so you know,
we have to play the role
we
here.
have to play the role.
There you go. So like that's about right.
I'm pretty sure it's off center, but yeah.
Fuck you. You picky bitch. There you go. Cool. I love that my bandana has like a little trim of green.
Yeah, it does.
You can
I was
see
like,
right
what-
through it.
Yeah.
It's interesting.
I just didn't think you had a head.
I don't need one. I mean, I got plenty of heads, so I did the thing. All right, so now we can open the comments again because we haven't been able to read anybody's. Okay,
here we go.
100% off center. Yeah, cool. They fucking filled
For the
comments
dev,
here.
yes.
So we're like,
For the dev.
yeah, for the dev.
Ruh-roh Raggy, yes.
Can we make a shirt with that off center like we fucked it up?
Yep. Yeah, make it off center.
corner of the logo.
Oh, that's gonna be great. Oh, that's gonna be great. And on the back it says "For the Dev."
Oh, for the record, guys, we still have shirts for sale. They're on freakingdeviant.com. To the designs of the
Yeah, it's just a couple of designs.
our
that we're
common
going with it, yeah.
phrase of life is chaos, nothing is sacred. Wow, I'm tired.
If you guys do have like designs or something, you guys want to do that. For the record. For the record. I'm enjoying this. This
Yeah.
is the best meme.
We're just inventing shit now.
If you guys do have designs or something, you guys want to send us something, you can.
Yeah, let's do
send us
some
an
fan
email.
art. Like, if anybody wants to like just take screenshots of this, turn it into a shirt.
Oh
fucking
no!
go
Don't
for
tell
it.
them that.
You can find us at Pornhub.
You can find us at Pornhub. I mean, you can. I'm actually really excited for
One, the
Pornhub.
first episodes were back on the couch back then, and the audio is actually not as terrible as I thought it was. Because I remember the audio, like we were kind of doing this kind of thing. With the mic. We were pretty far from it.
They were pretty far from the
and I didn't
mics.
know the settings on the on the mixer, so
Yeah.
it didn't sound as great as it does now. I was still kind of. This whole show has been a learning.
A learning
thing.
experience.
Yeah, I did not start this podcast knowing what the fuck I was doing. Fucking.
Yeah, wow. It just all into the mic there.
I'm dying.
Sweet. I get to own the podcast now.
So now, whoever stuck around this long for the podcast, you're gonna get a little secret. And very few people. I mean, honestly, I don't think enough people watch this to actually be a
I don't know. We have
spoiler
a
for
fair,
my thing.
We have a fair amount of people, of listeners.
But I
though.
want to talk about the
Oh,
device
yeah.
I made because it's interesting.
Yeah, it is really cool.
And I believe it's an invention. I believe I just invented something fascinating. Further, I don't vape. He does a lot.
I vape. Oh wow, that is a quote from an old game called Tenchu Wrath of Heaven.
So I actually don't vape at all.
Thank you, Chalk Lads. That's a blast from the past.
Not long ago, I had a blue e-cig on the table, and I was hitting it during the podcast.
Right.
I was trying to train myself to be able to hit the nicotine-less e-cigs for a particular purpose. So I work at a haunted house. They give me a big silicone mask because if they put makeup on me, I look like me. I've worn all kinds of weird makeup. Everybody knows, at least in this city, somebody shows up, sees the green hair and makeup, they're going to know who it is.
Right.
Doesn't matter what I wear. If I don't wear a mask, people know who I am. So I have to wear a big mask that covers everything. So I was told that I could do magic. So that was very exciting, and I've been doing magic tricks as a monster, and it looks very clownish, that mask they gave me. But that's not relevant. So I designed, for one, I had already designed a method to put an e-cig in my sleeve, and with like a pump of air, I could hit it with my other arm and have smoke come out of my sleeve, which is a very magic-y thing to do. However, I bought a second e-cig, and with a series of tubes and pumps, I managed
With an
to
internet on your back.
yeah, I basically had a system where I had to wear a bandana because if I put the hose in the mask, every movement starts just pulling it slowly.
Right.
However, if I have a bandana, this is again trial and error, just like the podcast. I put the hose in my bandana through here, so from the back of the bandana into my face, and I put it so it ends on my nose, not in my mouth. because it used to come out like right like at the tip of my mouth, just so it's not visible, but smoke will come out of my mouth without me actually hitting it.
Right.
Now I decided to put it on my nose, so when I hit the button, I could actually just inhale, pull in, get a full hit of the vapor, and then exhale vapor without anybody ever seeing me pull up an e-cig to my mouth.
Right.
Right? It's just a hidden e-cig. It's on my neck, under the mask. I'm hitting this fucking device from up here. It's very chaotic. Now, it is a blue e-cig, one of those cheap little things
Right.
that don't really provide a whole lot of vapor. It's a nice mouthful of vapor, but it looks nothing like the shit you do constantly in the podcast.
Yes, where I just
where
fill the entire room
you can
with vapor.
smoke out this room with 3 hits.
Yeah.
So I came up with an idea yesterday.
And this is really interesting. I enjoyed the ingenuity of this, and I have to figure out the vape portion of this, and I am
we gotta
not
work on
excited.
it. So he brought me an extra vape that one of those big
Yeah,
fat
I
ones
got an RDA.
that does not
Going
that
on.
does
I
not
thought
have,
an RDA would be better, but I was wrong, and I'll talk about that in just a minute.
But yeah, it has no nicotine, and so I can actually hit it without it hurting. And so what I bought is something called a nasal cannula. For those of you who never heard of anything like this is actually a device they use it's basically a tube with 2 little tubes that stick into your nose. They use it for patients that need oxygen tanks. And it comes with a tubing and stuff. The tubing's super thin. It's about a 2 millimeter thick tube that goes to go into your nose, and then it goes over your ears. And then I guess I could put it forward here, so I can actually put this in like a pocket. And then I cut the tube and stuck a balloon so I can stretch it. There's also this other tubing that is a little stretchier than the solid one. And the idea is that if I put this on a regular big vape, if I manage to attach, so with this balloon, I actually managed to attach this to that vape. And then the idea is that I basically go to my pocket and hit it.
Hit it, and then
Take a big deep breath and basically hit the cigarette with my nose, so that I have my lungs full of smoke and I can do that big puff without anybody seeing me pick up one of those big ass machines into my mouth.
yeah.
So
And I have to figure out the vape part.
the average young kid was like, "Oh, he's vaping," but how the fuck is he vaping? How could he vape without pulling?
I got one where you just
I'm basically
you
secretly
like,
vaping, which is the magic trick.
you could probably like grab someone's not actually grab someone's vape, just like grab it and just like imitate hitting it,
Yeah.
and then just like take a big hit of it.
Yeah, I
don't
could
know.
probably
There's
do like
all sorts of weird
There's
shit.
an old trick where you pretend to make a pipe with your hand, and that's the thing you just do with when you light a match and you can inhale the sulfur,
Yeah.
and it becomes smoke in your lungs.
Yeah.
So it's invisible smoke, basically. You're supposed to like pretend to get a pipe, load it up, go like this, then light up a match, do the inhale thing, and then pretend to hit the pipe, and then the smoke actually comes out. So I could just do that, mimic a pipe or mimic a cigarette. I also have the light, the thumb lights, so I can pretend that's a lighter.
Oh, that'd
You know
be a
what I mean?
good one.
Just go like grab something like a pack of cards and go
And then
grab the finger light and just and then just massive poof
Then
of
a massive
smoke actually
poof of
comes
smoke
out.
comes out,
I
yeah.
appear smoke. So the trick really is appearing smoke, which is but how you get it, and it's no longer a little easy. Also, I thought that maybe like the hoses that go into your nose are very small little tubes. They're not intended to seal into your nose.
Right.
So what I did is cut up earplugs and basically drill the hole through them.
yeah.
So they can, so I can actually seal those into my nose. So when I take, that means the entire night I have to be a mouth breather, right?
I mean, you could breathe in through your nose. We could probably. I have some ideas that we can probably do that actually.
I want to test this as soon as we're done filming here.
Yeah.
But this is something
we're
that,
almost done filming here.
yeah,
and
this is
then-
something this is spoiler alert for and again, most of you guys listening don't really, you're not from town and you're not going to come see it. But it's a brilliant idea that I believe I invented, and as part of the members of we got to call something to our fans. Like members of the
Deviants.
You fucking deviants. Yeah, you guys are deviants. Freaks and deviants, right?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, because like Philip DeFranco is the bastards, or like, or the nation. He calls them the nation. Or like Hulk Hogan with the Hulkamaniacs, you know? Or what is it, Beatlemania? That was a thing too.
Jesus, I mean.
Fandoms have, Believers.
Oh, I know that one.
Yeah, you know that one.
Oh, I know that one.
I kind of hate that you know that one, but you didn't recognize the Hulkamaniacs. You can go fuck yourself for that.
I mean, I know about Hulkamania. I didn't know that was like a thing, though.
yeah, he's like, to all my Hulkamaniacs. Like, he referred to his fans as a Hulkamaniac. The Rock calls people the people.
I knew that one.
Oh, the millions.
I know.
The millions and millions of the Rock's fans. But yeah, so basically, I haven't tested this with the mask because I don't own the mask. I have to be at the haunt where they put the mask on me. But I have made the little thing work. If I can make this work, it'll be amazing. And I only have like 2 more weekends to work.
Yeah.
But I'm fucking excited. If we can get this working tonight, I'm gonna be very pumped.
Which we will be doing it actually right now, considering that we are out of time today, guys.
We are out of time, so thank you guys for listening. Thank you guys for watching. You guys have an absolutely great night, and join us next week for like a Halloween episode or something.
Yeah, we're gonna do
right?
Halloween, haunted houses, and stuff like
Yeah,
that.
we're
I have
gonna
some
talk about
interesting
haunted
topics. I
houses.
actually have some interesting topics for that one.
Fantastic.
I'm excited. I'm gonna go into like some of the more religious side of the Halloween season.
Spoiler
I'm
alert.
excited.
Yeah, didn't like churches invent
Yeah, there's all
haunted
sorts
houses?
of crazy,
So
cool,
that's
fun
interesting.
stuff.
Anyway,
I'm very happy.
thank you guys for listening. Life is chaos.
And nothing is sacred. Night, guys.
Night.